Norway is building a $47 billion highway along its western coast, which will include floating bridges and underwater tunnels stretching across the region's immense fjords. Carved by glaciers over millions of years, Norway's western coast is now a labyrinth of beautiful deep inlets called fjords that carve up to 170 kilometers inland. These fjords are up to 10 kilometers wide and 1.3 kilometers deep. Meanwhile, Norway's western coast holds numerous key cities and towns, including Bergen, Stavanger, and Trondheim, which host 1.4 million people, 26% of the country's population. These cities are connected by European Route E39, an 1,100 long highway linking Kristiansand in the south to Trondheim in the north. However, this highway is split apart by 7 major fjords. To cross them, there are currently ferry connections. Unfortunately, these require waiting, take up to an hour, and cost up to 250 Norwegian krona, or $29 US. With this system, it currently takes 21 hours to travel from Trondheim to Kristiansand along the E39 highway. To solve this inefficiency, in 2016, Norway introduced the largest megaproject in its history, a $47 billion new continuous E39 coastal highway. To cross some of the fjords that are too deep and wide to be traversed with traditional structures, the highway will feature brand new innovative connections, including floating and submerged tunnels and bridges. The first link, the Rogfast tunnel, will cross Boknafjord near Stavanger. It will stretch 27 kilometers and will have a maximum depth of 392 meters, making it both the longest and deepest undersea road tunnel in the world. It will include ventilation shafts and a 3.7 kilometer long spiral-shaped tunnel ramp linking it to Kvitsøy Island, which is in the center of the route. The tunnel will cost $2.9 billion. 100 kilometers north of Rogfast, the second link will cross Bjørnafjord. At 583 meters deep, this fjord is too deep for a traditional bridge or tunnel. To solve this, engineers have proposed a multi-span suspension bridge sitting on floating elements anchored to the seabed with steel cables. However, another more favored proposal calls for a floating bridge arching across the fjord. This bridge would sit on 38 floating pontoons and would have a cable-stayed section with a vertical clearance of 50 meters, allowing large ships to cross. It would stretch 5.4 kilometers, over 2 times the length of the current longest floating bridge in the world, the Evergreen Point floating bridge in Seattle. Its projected cost is $2 billion US. 100 kilometers north of this, the third link will cross the longest and deepest fjord in Norway, the notorious Sognefjord. Sinking 1.3 kilometers into the earth, this fjord is too deep for traditional tunnels. However, engineers believe that a single-span suspension bridge is possible. This bridge would have a single span of 3.7 kilometers, making it the longest suspension bridge in the world by nearly 2 kilometers. With tower heights of 450 meters, it would also be the tallest bridge in the world, 130 meters taller than the Eiffel Tower. In addition, it would have a vertical clearance of 70 meters, allowing ship passage. As another option, engineers have conceptualized a floating bridge similar to the Bjørnafjord crossing, arching both vertically and horizontally across the fjord. It would also allow for ship passage. A third alternative could be a fully submerged tunnel, which would be the first in the world of its kind. It would be affixed to floating pontoons, resting 20 meters below sea level, allowing for ship passage. Passengers inside it would be underwater, but would feel as if they're in a normal tunnel. A fourth option is a hybrid connection. This would feature a 2.5 kilometer long floating bridge spanning most of the fjord, and a 1.2 kilometer long section of submerged tunnel near the coast, allowing for the passage of ships. Lastly, a fifth alternative could be a cable-stayed suspension bridge with towers sitting on floating elements anchored to the seabed with steel cables. 150 kilometers north of Sognefjord, the fourth link will cross the 400-meter deep Sulafjord. Potential solutions to cross it include a 3.5 kilometer long suspension bridge with one tower built from the seabed, or a submerged floating tunnel anchored to the seabed. 50 kilometers northeast of this will be the fifth link, crossing the 400-meter-deep Fjord, where plans call for two connections, a 16-kilometer-long undersea tunnel connected to a suspension bridge. This bridge will have a main span of 1.6 kilometers, making it the longest bridge in Norway and the 6th longest single-span bridge in the world. It will also have 250-meter-tall towers and a vertical clearance of 70 meters. Along with all this, two more connections will cross the Nordfjord and Fjord, which each, at 2 kilometers wide, will likely feature traditional suspension bridges. With all these links in place, the E39 coastal route will finally be continuous. A new 4-lane highway will be built along it, an upgrade to the current 2-lane highway. The new route will provide some major benefits. First of all, it will decrease the travel time between Kristiansand and Trondheim from 21 hours to only 11. It will dramatically improve connectivity in Norway, boosting economic growth and increasing tourism. The new highway will also improve road safety along western Norway. And by connecting them to the mainland, it will hopefully boost development in the islands of Utroya and Kvitsøy, which are currently cut off from the mainland. However, the project does have some issues. First of all, it is a massive engineering challenge. Many of the connections will push the limits of structural engineering or utilize new untested technology. And being built so close to the ocean, the connections will have to manage large waves and strong winds. Second, with the Rogfast and Romsdalsfjord tunnels being so long, fires and auto accidents will be a major threat. Moreover, Norway's harsh winter weather will make highway conditions dangerous. Lastly, $47 billion is no small fee. Some people think there isn't enough traffic along the E39 to justify such a major upgrade. And even more, collecting the money will be difficult. Government funds are not enough. Norway will have to acquire countless loans from foreign investors to fund the project. Fortunately, these issues are being addressed. Engineers are actively working to make the connection structurally feasible, and emergency laybys will be installed every 500 meters in the tunnels. Now, Norway is planning to make the highway heated, allowing it to melt snow during the winter. As for funding, Norway believes it can pay off the project with tolls, which will run for the first several decades of operation. Since its introduction in 2016, Norway's new coastal highway has advanced. In January 2018, construction began on the Rogfast tunnel, specifically on a 2-kilometer-long side tunnel which will transport excavation materials during construction and serve as a ventilation shaft afterwards. In January 2019, the first passage of it finished excavation, and in June 2019, the second was finished. However, in October 2019, construction on the project was stalled over budgetary concerns. Fortunately, in November 2020, the Norwegian government approved a new $2.9 billion price tag for Rogfast, a $900 million increase from the original estimate. Hopefully, with this settled, construction will resume soon. Currently, the tunnel is planned to be opened by 2029. As of now, the highway's other connections are still in the design phase. Eventually, the E39 coastal highway is planned to be finished by 2050. Once complete, it will connect Norway's western coast with innovative bridges and tunnels stretching across the region's grand fjords. What do you think? Will Norway's new coastal highway be a success? Let me know your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, it would be much appreciated if you like and subscribe for more videos exploring our future. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.